Hey you guys, hope you're doing well. I'm gonna be doing my hair and my makeup and talking about some of the things that you guys have asked me. I posted on my Instagram a little while ago, I guess on Monday, it's Wednesday today, asking you guys to ask me any questions that you have about life. You guys did, thanks. That's kind of cool in itself. So I'm just going to get started. My hair right now is in twists. So let me just take that down. Whew. Man, these hair ties just don't stand a chance. So yeah, I've had my hair in twists for about 3 weeks, probably. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start with these questions because you guys asked some really deep questions. For example, the first one comes from a friend of mine. She asks me, how do you always seem so calm and at peace? As someone who struggles with anxiety, I need your secret. So it's like questions like that where it's like, whoa, great question, but it's gonna be a long answer. So here you go, this one's for you, Olivia. I'm just gonna separate my hair real quick because I like to untwist it in sections. Gonna do this bottom section. So how do I always seem so calm and at peace? I think it's kind of a difficult question because it's different for everybody. Calmness and peacefulness feel different for everybody. Because I also struggle with anxiety just because it appears from the outside that I'm calm and okay all the time, and it's not always the case. Probably had social anxiety or started noticing some behaviors that line up with that kind of a thing when I was pretty young, like probably 6th grade, maybe 7th grade. My personality is also such that I don't like to worry people or feel like a burden to people, and so I just don't talk about a lot of the difficult things because I just don't want people to be worried about me, or I'm like naturally a fixer, and so I want to just fix my problems or ignore them and hope they go away kind of a thing. And so I don't think I started really talking about anxiety until a couple years ago. If you've followed me for half a second, you probably noticed that I talk about my relationship with God a lot and the way that he is transforming me. And I guess I just want to tell you that no, I'm not at peace all the time, and no, I'm not calm all the time, and if I seem that way, it is because I am aware of the presence of God. Like that's seriously, I'm aware that what he says about me is true, and that he loves me. If I'm ever in a state where I don't feel at peace, it's usually because I'm trying to control my life or trying to manage people's expectations of me. Yeah, I think that if I'm trying to think of ways that I manage my anxiety, if I could reword your question or something like that, I start with, and this is not perfect, of course, this is not gonna work for everybody kind of a thing, but maybe it'll help you. If I'm in a moment where anxiety is creeping in, my heart rate is up, and I'm nervous and just nauseous, and it gets to the point sometimes where it feels debilitating, it feels like I can't do anything. I zone out, I get spacey, I just don't pay attention, I'm not present. That's usually when it's I'm having an anxiety attack. I think usually it's when I'm not present and I'm not thankful, those are the moments that I feel like I can't get out of these anxiety ridden moments. And so I think my first thing that I tend to do is I have people around me who know me. And that's always helpful to have people with you who notice when you're slightly off or whatever. It's so important to be in relationship with people. It's important to be vulnerable and let people know hey, I do deal with anxiety, and if I'm quiet or if I'm zoned out or whatever, check on me or say, hey, are you okay? Because sometimes that's all it takes. Sometimes all it is what are you thinking about? And so sometimes I just ask myself that question. Now that I'm more aware of when things are starting to happen, I ask myself, what am I thinking about? And I externally process it somehow. So whether it's talking to somebody or journaling, I process what am I thinking about and I try and trace it. Like, it gives me something to do actively with my mind so that I'm not getting in this like self-deprecating cycle. And so I'll pull out my journal and I'll write down what I'm thinking or what I'm feeling. And I write it down in a very raw way. Like, it's not like trying to sugarcoat things for myself even. If I'm feeling like, you know, you're worthless today, you're not productive, you can't do anything, you're bad at what you do, because we all have those thoughts. Like, I don't think I've ever met anyone who hasn't felt like they were enough at some point. It doesn't avoid anybody, you know, that kind of mentality. It's just a brokenness in us. And so I blatantly will write things to myself like, this is exactly how I feel. And then once it's out there and it's exposed, it's like, you can see it for what it is. You can determine whether or not it's true by comparing it to what is true. And then directly after that, to combat that kind of a thing, I tend to write down the things that I feel like I'm good at, you know? Like, when I see that happening, it's a lot of comparison. Another big step you can take is probably getting off your phone a little bit and going outside or journaling, like I just said, or, you know, praying, or just kind of like realigning and refocusing, you know, what's important to you, remembering that this moment isn't going to be every single moment for the rest of the day if you don't want it to be. You know, like, I think part of combating anxiety for me is realizing that I don't have to exist in a way that's negative. Like, I can choose what to believe about myself. I think that's one of the big things. But yeah, so how do I seem calm and at peace all the time? It's probably because I'm just quiet, or the things that I post and I say are almost my therapy. Like, the things that I post are almost like it's therapeutic to post the moments that are beautiful in my day, because then I remember, oh, my life is beautiful. That's why I tend to capture the moments of my life and share them with people, because not only do I think they're beautiful, but I think that they're worth sharing. And it's a reminder for me that even when I'm feeling anxious, I still have time to take care of myself, and I still have people around me who love me. You don't have to avoid your anxiety. If you deal with anxiety, like, I would encourage you in this way. I would encourage you to see it as a moment in your life and not as an identity, because you're more than how you feel in the moment. I would look at it as, what can I learn from this when I'm out of it? What can I learn from it when I'm in it? How can I prepare before to combat what's going on in my mind and what's untrue? How can I prepare mentally, spiritually? And I think it's by realizing what is true about you, and that is that you are so valuable and beautiful, and your life is worth it. And it's more than that moment of anxiety, because it is a moment. I don't have like severe anxiety where it lasts for days and days, but I have experienced it, and I know that it's not easy, but it's also not forever. So for me, that's an encouragement. That was so long-winded, oh my gosh. I hope that helped you, Olivia. I hope that gave you some insight into my soul. I don't know. So I'm like on the second row of hair. You can see the texture that's happening. Isn't it so nice? Like, and this isn't like the exact natural texture of my hair. This is the result of the twists. This is called a twist out for anyone who's uninformed. And it's just the result of a whole bunch of little strands of my hair being twisted together and swirled at the ends. The ends are kind of my natural texture in some areas, not all of them. But yeah. Let me find the next question. So this question is from Apoorva, and I'm thankful for her question. She says, I would love to know, what is the one thing you keep telling yourself always that keeps you going and has made a significant impact on the person you are today? Oh, I love you guys. You guys ask such good questions. So Apoorva, hey, what's up? I'm thankful for you. I think that the one thing that I have to tell myself is that my value is unchangeable. I think that's the biggest thing. My life is worth sharing. Like, I think for me, I grew up being pretty reserved, and so anything like this, like sharing about who I am and what I'm doing, was kind of like well, no, I don't really do that. I have like close friends who know about my life, and I have my family who kind of knows about my life, and that's it. I kind of write about this on my website a little bit, but there's just like, there's something that happened, I don't know when, maybe when I was 12 or something. Middle school will change you, right? Where I felt like I wasn't being heard when I spoke, or that I had to fight for attention or for, I guess, love, really. And it's not that I didn't believe I was loved by others, I just didn't necessarily love myself. That's really sad to say, but I think people can relate. Somewhere along the line tied my identity to my behavior and doing things the right way. That's a really empty way to live, I would say. It's such a long story, but I'll just keep it short. Until you believe things about yourself and it comes from inside of you, like internally, like who cares what anybody else says? Like that's fleeting, that lasts for like half a second. You can have praise from others for a moment and then it's gone, and then all of a sudden you're stuck questioning, you know, who am I and what am I doing, and does this have value or purpose? I would highly suggest believing things about yourself first, becoming your biggest fan, like, and not letting that seem like pride or conceit or whatever. If it stems from the truth that your value is unchangeable, once you start really believing that about yourself, then everything changes. It's just like that flows through everything and through all the things that you do. It becomes less about if you're doing things right or whatever, and more about your motivations and your intentions. I think that realization was really powerful for me. And it kind of made me live in a way that wasn't fearful anymore. I'm not saying it's perfect now and everything's on lock or anything, but like, I think that the more I believe the truth that I am loved infinitely and known infinitely by God, and I am who He says I am, well, that frees me up. Like, that's the reason why I can even do this and talk to you now, is because I think that God has freed me. So that's the thing that I keep telling myself. You're so loved, Apoorva. You are. And thank you for your question. I hope that it was helpful. You guys know about the Enneagram. I feel like it's such a millennial thing to talk about, but I think it's really cool. If you're ever curious about what I am, you could probably guess from this video. But anyway, next question is from another friend of mine back home. Hey Kelia, what up? She asks, how is married life and why are you guys so cute? That is so funny. Well, if you guys don't know, I'm married. I have been for almost 2 years now, which is really cute. So that's cute in itself. That probably answers the second question. We're cute because we're 2 years in. We'll probably always be cute though. I just love him. Married life is kind of cool. It's definitely very stretching for me personally, and it's caused me to grow a lot. Part of, you know, the growth in my life has stemmed from having my husband around. Just the way that God made him has totally stretched me and grown me as a person and in my relationship with God and the way I see myself. He's awesome. He asks amazing questions of me and really causes me to think about what's important. Married life is good. I don't know. That's kind of like a hard question. Like, all these questions are hard to answer. Why'd you guys do this to me? Anyway, I'm about halfway through my hair now. I'm looking pretty buff these days, right? Oh my gosh. Ew. Oh, not you. I started doing yoga a while ago. That's probably contributing to my calmness, Olivia. I started doing a lot of breathing and exercises like that, and I don't know, I just think that's helpful in making you calm. Like, the breath is life, like, so breathing is so important. It's so good for maintaining kind of a peaceful presence, I guess. I'm not even done undoing my hair yet, so I'll just finish that, I guess. I also got a lot of questions that day about my bread recipe. Thanks to my mother-in-law, I know how to make bread, so that's kind of a perk of being married, is having a mother-in-law who will teach you how to make bread. Da, 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 da. I spent about 3 years growing this, and it wasn't from scratch, so really it was like a little more than 3 years And I say it wasn't from scratch. Back in the day, I got my hair chemically straightened, and so I cut it off because it was so damaged. And so this is like 3 years of growth, but I kind of transitioned a little bit and let it grow before I cut it. So I had maybe like 4 inches of hair already. But of course, if that's curly 4 inches, doesn't actually go out to here. Curly 4 inches is like half as much basically. And so I figured maybe it's time to change things, and I don't think it's been the most common response is, "What? But I love your hair." Thanks. For one, I'm glad you do. And 2, I'm cutting it off, so do you want it? It's a joke, guys. But yeah, I think I'm just kind of bored. I always wear it up anyway. Like, if you watch my videos and my Instagram stories and like follow me over there, like, my hair is like never out. And so it's like, it's long, but for what? So I can wear it in a bun? I feel like that's kind of boring, you know? And so I thought, well, what if I cut it? Like, what would that mean for me? Ooh, y'all, we're coming down to the wire with this look. My husband is like, what if you just cut your hair? It's kind of how he said it. And I was like, what? Like, I could never cut my hair. Like, my hair is so iconic. And I just realized how much I was just tying identity to my hair. Again, it's like the whole reason I cut it in the first place was because my hair was damaged, and I believed at that point that I would still be beautiful even without having straight hair. Like, for some people, that's just like, they don't feel that way. And so I was having like this epiphany, and I think a lot of my life changed after I cut my hair the first time. And I just feel like I'm in a state of like transition right now anyway. We're moving next month, and I'll probably document that a little bit. Yeah, we're moving next month. We're going to the beach with my husband's family, and I just, like, I don't want to have hair during all of that. Like, I don't want to have to deal with it. Like, it's just so much. And so I'm thinking I'm going to cut it off. I think it's going to be beautiful. So that's coming soon, and I'll probably document that and take you with me when I get my hair cut. If you want to come see that, you can. You can. It sounded like I said, you can't, which I didn't say. Alright, I think all the twists are out now. So at this point with my hair, I'll kind of just shake it out and fluff it and stuff, and make sure the shape is right and change my part a little bit. Feels good to have it all out. I do love it. Oh man, I knew this would happen. I knew the second I took it out of that style, I would be like, well, maybe I don't want to cut it. No, Fran. Oh, I think I said at the beginning of the video that I would do my makeup, so I might as well just do that really quick. I'm not really going to do much to my makeup today, or to my face today, just because I don't want to. When I take my hair out, I just feel so like on fleek. It's just going to be a mascara day. Mascara, blush, and maybe a lipstick day? Nah, it's just going to be a mascara, blush, brows day. It's a little bit of eyeshadow, like a shimmery one. Summery, shimmery eyeshadow. Yeah, I like that idea. Okay, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to use this blush right here by It Cosmetics, and it's just kind of a warm peachy blush, I would say. I use this little angled brush that clearly I use for blush all the time, and I'm just going to put that on my cheeks. I'm trying to give my skin a break. We were out of town because we were on tour, because if you don't know this, I play music, and so my skin though, it started really breaking out over this trip. Like, it was so annoying, and I'm still recovering from it, and so that's why I have all these blemishes these days, but I don't really care about covering them or blurring anything. I just want to look like me, and if that's what I look like right now, then that's what I look like right now, you know? Recovering from that, healing that. Just gonna load up this blush, because I feel like if my skin has a little pinkness to it, I look a little bit more healthy. For eyeshadow, I'm going to do this palette, the Country Woods one from CoverGirl. This one is my favorite. It's kind of coppery, and I'm not going to use that one today, actually. I'm going to just use my fingers and Actually, I am going to use that. I can't avoid it. I'm just using my fingers, getting a little bit of that kind of dusty coppery color on my hand. I'm just going to wipe that across my eyelid to give it some shimmer and shine. I like that. You probably can't even see it on the video. Oh, you know what? I got this, probably doing all my makeup backwards, but I got this sample pack from a brand called Lila B. I've been really curious about this kind of peachy shade called Be Real. I think that it's really beautiful, and I feel like it might look really good on my cheeks, so I'm going to just try that on. I know I'm putting powder on top, or I'm putting cream on top of powder, but who cares? Not that big of a deal, I don't think. So I put a little bit on my ring finger. Just gonna kind of smear it on like this. Oh, that is such a pretty color. That's exactly the color I love for my skin. That pinky, peachy kind of color. So I'll kind of apply it the same way I always do. With cream products, I do like to always use my fingers. I feel like that really gets the product in synergy with the skin, and so that's how I like to do it. Oh, that's so pretty. So these days I've been trying to like remember to smile because I've been putting my blush like not even on my cheeks like my whole life. Like I keep forgetting to smile, and so anyway, I would love to purchase this. These products are really expensive though, so I got the sample pack. Maybe I'll get another sample pack one day. Do you think they'll let me do that? I barely used any. Like, look how much I used. Like, none. So hopefully I can reseal it somehow. Using a bobby pin. Yes, this is how you do it. Save that. Don't let that go away. And I'm going to put on some highlighter because highlighter gives life. Use the same finger that I did for the blush, so everything is a part of the other. I usually just go along my socket line. I can feel where the bone is, and that's where I put the highlight. And again, I just smoosh that into the skin. I love cream products. I think I say that every time I do makeup, but I just love cream products. I think that they're so natural looking. Always just do things the way you like when it comes to your makeup. What's next? Mascara. So both of my mascaras are running out, so I mix them up. So I've got CoverGirl Lash Blast Fusion, and I have Maybelline The Colossal something. It's falling off. I think they might just be called The Colossal. I start with the Colossal leftovers. They're Colossal leftovers. Smush it right up underneath and blink. It's kind of on its last leg, and it's still... No! Good thing I don't care about that concealer. Although part of me does want to get concealer just to try it and see if I get addicted to it like the rest of the world. Pay attention to what I'm doing. Whatever's left over on my brush is what I put on my eyebrows. So here we go. Perks of having dark eyebrows. I think I am going to just leave it on the top lashes. I don't think I want to put them on the bottom. But they make such a huge difference. I mean, look at that. That's crazy. Other eye. Other eyebrow. Then I like to take the other one because the brush is different. Really good for separation and length. I like to use my other one to apply the second coat in the same way, where I'm just blinking a lot and wiggling the brush. Get a little bit more product on there. And that's just what I like. Done with that. So now that my eyebrows have dried a little bit from applying that mascara to them, I just brush it through. And I like cleaned up my eyebrows the other day, so they're looking extra like fleeky today. So that's kind of it. That's all I'm doing today. I did want to try out that Lila B blush though, and I think it's like a lip product too, but I'll probably just put on chapstick. So there we go. That's the look. It's really just my face, the less dead version of my face. My face with eyelashes is what I call this look. Thank you guys for watching. I know I got a little long-winded there at the end because the questions ended, but I wasn't done, so I had to keep going, right? My hope and vision for this channel, it's kind of going to be around all of these ideas that have come up today of just loving yourself, interacting with God, kind of just sharing life. And so I just, appreciate you guys for hanging and chilling with your girl and hanging with me and stuff, and I gotta go get to doing some actual work now that I'm done having fun. I will see you guys another time, and yeah, bye.